Hi everyone, I'm Deanna and I'm trying to scribble my way to becoming a traditionally published author. And this is a writing vlog in which hopefully I'm going to finally finish draft 4 of my post-apocalyptic fantasy novel. And this is Mars, one of my cats. Why is it always your butt, huh buddy? Why are you like this? Anyway, yeah, I've been working on this draft for, I want to say, 3 weeks now? Did I start right at the beginning of the month? Mars. My original plan was actually to finish it last week, but if you saw my previous vlog, you would know that I didn't actually vlog last week. I had a really crazy busy week at work and I kind of planned for that, which is why I released one of my other videos instead from my how to write a novel for the first time as a beginner series. I basically talked about the muddy middle and what causes it. Like, middles are really hard to write. I've definitely been finding that in this book as well. This is the second book that I've finished. The first one I queried and that flopped, which I have a video about too. But anyway, all this to say, I would like to finish this draft this week. Now, will that actually happen is a different story, because the way that I've been doing drafts recently, again, if you're new, welcome. I basically finish a draft. This is Mars's vlog now. I basically finish a draft and then spend a week after I finish that draft just doing some patch edits, kind of jumping around while everything's fresh in my mind and making some smaller changes or changes that I just thought of before calling that draft officially done. So I kind of, let's move over here a little bit. I kind of baked in an extra week to do that, and then extra week on top of that to give myself time to find beta readers, because I would like to do beta readers next. I think I've reached the limit of what I can do by myself at this point. I've been writing this book since March last year, kind of in fits and spurts initially because I was still querying, and then kind of more seriously for the past, I want to say 6 months. Anyway, as always, this probably means that I'm going to spend a week longer working on this book than I would like, because I don't see myself finishing the last 30,000 words that I have left this week and also having time to jump around and do patch edits. But you know what? Stranger things have happened. Once I hit that midpoint in a draft, or at least slightly past the midpoint, which is kind of where I am now anyway, I start to get that feeling of like, you know, we've climbed the hill and now it's kind of rolling down it. It feels easier, even when I have to make more edits, which I definitely have had to do in the second half of this novel on all the drafts. I think the first half has been pretty much unchanged for the most part, and then the second half is where I've really had to put in work, add in new scenes, change things around, and I feel like that's kind of been the case this time around too. But even despite that, I am optimistic that I can do those 30,000 words this week. But like I said, I need time for the patch edits. So unless I could do these 30,000 words before Friday, it's Monday right now, and then do the patch edits over the weekend, I don't know about that. I'm busy this weekend as well. I'm going to see my mum. I'm getting a haircut. Needed. My ends are so dry. But yeah, I don't know about that. That would be kind of crazy. But look, as most of my writing vlogs go, sometimes I'm like, I want to have the best week ever, and then I edit like one chapter, and then other times I'm like, I'm not really feeling it this week, and then I edit like 20,000 words in 4 days. So let's just get into it. Let's see how far I get. Even though my whole body is aching and I'm tired as hell from last week, we are going to do our best, find those pockets of time, and get some words under our belt. Let's get started. Hello Mars. Okay guys, so I did the writing yesterday. I did 7,325 words, so 2 chapters, and today's Tuesday. I'm hoping to do 1 chapter today, because what I'm kind of realizing is the chapters that are like heavy on action, and it's been like this the whole time, like the whole draft, right? The chapters that are heavy on action are actually very quick for me to edit because I'm not actually changing them much. I'm pretty happy with the actual physical plot and events that happen. But the chapters like the one I'm about about to do that are more like about kind of the magic in the world and like the underlying mystery and the interiority of the characters, that is definitely needing a lot more editing and work. So this chapter is 5,000 words, and I'm kind of expecting it to take me the full hour and a half, 2 hours that I would usually set aside. And I think I really just need to sit with it. I'm almost tempted to say, like, depending on how this edit goes, I might come back to it tomorrow or flag it for like a patch edit once I get through to the end of the novel. But I also don't want to psych myself out and be like, oh, this is going to be really hard, this is going to be really complicated, because I might go in and realize actually it's not that bad and I know the changes I need to make. So let me get out my plan in my notebook for the unraveling of the magic mystery side of things and see what we actually need to change, rather than just assuming it's going to be hard. Fingers crossed it's okay. Okay, let's have a proper chat. It's Wednesday. So I was supposed to go into the office today, and instead I couldn't sleep most of the night because I had a terrible headache that wouldn't go away. And then when I did get some sleep, I woke up in the morning and I had really bad cramps. Thank you, endometriosis. So yeah, I worked from home today, which, first of all, I actually really like seeing people. I like my coworkers, shockingly, and I like getting out of the house in the middle of the week. So that was really annoying, and this is really sad, but I really like getting a meal deal. If you're not from the UK and you're like, what the fuck is a meal deal? It's basically a combination of like a sandwich, a snack, and a drink that you get at a discount from, you can get them from most grocery shops. So you can get them from like Tesco, Sainsbury's, M&S has like a posh one. I think the original people allegedly who kind of came up with this is Boots, which is not a grocery shop. It's like a toiletry shop. The point is, I like being able to get and pick up my sandwich and my like little side snack and my drink. It's so sad, but it's actually a genuinely enjoyable part of my week. So I was pissed for multiple reasons, right? Then I couldn't like basically go anywhere from under my heating pad, so I was like working with a heating pad on all day, and it's too warm for that. It's getting hot again. I say hot, it's getting warm again. So I have not been very happy today, and I do feel a bit better now. I felt a bit better after I like had some lunch and kind of hung out, but now I'm like, I gotta do my words for the day, especially because tomorrow, okay, this is like a life update more than a writing update. Tomorrow there is like a work after work party situation. They kind of do a social for all the employees once a year, and I'm like stressing out about what to wear because, you know, I've been here for a few months and I don't want to be too overdressed, too underdressed. Obviously it's a work thing, so I'm going to err on the side of professional dress, you know, but I just, is it like a nice jeans and a top situation? Is it like a full dress and heels? I kind of feel like I need to check that with my manager tomorrow, because the neurodivergence is neurodiverging and I am flipping through like different outfits in my head constantly, like what am I actually going to wear? Also weird weather, because again it's going to be like 25 degrees or something during the day, and then in the evening it drops to like 16. Anyway, can't remember if I mentioned, but because of just like the travel and stuff, and because I'm getting my haircut on the weekend, thank God, I am going to be staying at my mum's for the next couple of days. So not sure how much filming I'm going to do. I'm going to try and keep up with the writing though. And on the writing, yesterday I did just the one chapter, like I said, like the more complicated one. So I did 5,924 words, and want to say about 600-ish of those are new words, so I did have to add some stuff to that chapter, just like I kind of expected. Again, I'm not sure I'm 100% happy with it, because, you know, it's that thing of like drafting a new scene in the middle of, in this case, a draft 4. The quality of the words is just not as good, and it's not as integrated into the story as everything else is, because it just has just appeared there. But again, I think this needs to wait for, like, if I do a final reread before I send things to beta readers, maybe. I'm not really sure. I keep going back and forth about how to do the beta reading thing next. I'm like, should I leave it for a week, give it a quick read, make sure everything makes sense, or shall I just send it? And I am tempted to just send it, only because I'm going on holiday and because this feels like it's already taken so long. But like, let me look at the timings of things. Hello, Mars. So because my original plan is to basically spend the entirety of next week looking for beta readers while I do patch edits. I was supposed to have 2 weeks to do one then the other, but I'm gonna have to combine and do both at the same time, which is kind of fine, whatever. And then after that, I have 3 weeks before we go away for 2 weeks. So I'm kind of trying to consider, because I do manuscript swaps, so I'm going to need time to read the manuscripts of the people, of the beta readers that I end up going with and one, you know, doing the swap with. Why can't I talk? And I usually do a month, like I give myself and everyone that I read with a month, and then it usually overruns by like a week, as everything in writing does. I'm kind of wondering how best to time this out with all that considered, because what I'm feeling I might actually want to do, well, you get the, everyone's always a bit late though. Ugh, it's so hard because I just want to do it, I want to get it done. But maybe what I should do is, no, yes, fuck, like, maybe I don't let it rest. I think that's the thing that I'm struggling with, is that week where I just have to kind of do nothing to let it. But a week isn't enough anyway, I don't think, for a proper resting of the manuscript. So I think this is what I'm going to do. Finish the draft, the going through draft of draft 4 by the 21st, so by Sunday, by the end of this video, allegedly. Patch edits for the whole next week. If it needs that, I'm giving it that, just in case. Then, instead of letting it rest from the 29th of June for however long it takes me, it might take me a week again, like, it shouldn't, but I will spend a couple days, hopefully, just rereading the whole thing, just making sure everything kind of jives. And then as soon as that's done, I will spend a week, whenever that ends, probably around Wednesday, the 1st of July, a couple days, however long it takes. Week is usually really how long it takes to find the beta readers, read their first chapters, have them read my first chapter, and then kind of say, okay, can we set a deadline for like beginning of August, like 3rd of August or something? I think that's the best way to do it. I'm gonna stick to that. Anyway, we are 72,619 words through the draft, so we have less than 20,000 words left, 17,381 words left, roughly, minding the fact that I think now the previous draft was 89,000 words, and I think this one's going to end up being like 91, 92-ish. So really, if I do a chapter a day, I will be done by Sunday. The only problem is tomorrow. If I can cram in a chapter during lunchtime, that's kind of the only way that's going to work. But also saying that, the next chapter is the climax, which will be like, I think, very minimal edits, because as we've established, action heavy chapters don't actually need much changing. And then the chapter after that, we're getting into like the reversal and the denouement. So that one might need a bit more work, but we'll see. We'll try 2 chapters, fuck it. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I'm just getting ready for this after work thing. I do feel a bit better today after, I think you saw yesterday, my whole writing in bed. I didn't even film it because I was just like hunched over with my heating pad, just doing my best. But anyway, I edited the chapter with the climax and it made me sad again. It's kind of bled over into today, where I keep being like, it's just so hard to sit with that climax and not move straight on to the resolution, reversal, all that stuff. It genuinely affects my mood, which is crazy. But I'm going to have to sit with it today because, like I said, I've been busy with work all day and now I'm going to this thing for the evening. So I'm not going to be able to write until tomorrow at the very earliest at this point, unless I start to feel sick at this get together and end up having to go home. Anyway, I was wrong in the sense that I did have to make some changes to the climax chapter, but they weren't huge. It was basically me cutting out this like moment of revelation that the two characters had because I felt like that wasn't actually the right time to have it in the end. Just because I've changed the nature of the mystery that underpins the magic and stuff, I think it makes more sense now. Basically, I made it so that one character realizes something and the other one doesn't quite yet, and then them realizing it will come in the next couple of chapters. So it is a big change, but a small change at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a big change in the structure of the story, but it was a small change on the page. It was just deleting a couple paragraphs and changing some of the dialogue. So currently this draft is sitting at 77,651 words now. So we're very close. We're like about 12k away from finishing it. I think it's literally 3 chapters, maybe even just 2 really long ones, which I might want to split up. I'm kind of still considering it, but we'll kind of see how it goes. Like I said, I'm at my mum's for the rest of the week. I think I will bring my tripod and microphone just in case. It's not like it's a lot of stuff to pack. I'm still very much using a bootleg setup and maybe do some filming if I end up doing any writing there, which I will have to at least one of the days. And also I need to show you my new haircut that I get on Saturday. It's not going to look any different. I'm literally just taking like 5 centimeters off the end. Did I say that already? Probably. Okay, I need to get going in a minute anyway. I still need to try on what shoes I'm wearing. Life is such a struggle because first of all, I'm wearing these trousers, which are, quite frankly, I got them tailored and they're a bit too tight now if I slouch, which means I have to sit up ramrod straight and preferably not eat anything ever again, which, oh shit, I was supposed to have dinner before I left. Should I do that? Probably. And then, like, I still have all this joint pain from finishing that medication. Like, it's better, but it's not that much better. And I'm like, okay, so I can't wear basically any of my cute shoes. Will I ever be able to? I don't know. But for the time being, flat sandals, probably. It's not too bad for this outfit because it's linen trousers, so it's already very summery. It's hot again. It's cloudy as fuck, but it's like 27 degrees, girl. Anyway, all that to say, I'm gonna go and get ready, try to think about things that aren't writing for a little bit. Probably not gonna happen. Whenever I end up talking to strangers, they're like, so what do you do for fun? I'm like, oh, I spend most of my time writing. What do you write about? I don't know how to explain that without like talking about some really dark things right now, so let's not. Wish me luck with the small talk. I'll see you in a bit. And just like that, the draft is done. And also, I got my hair cut, so my hair has been messed around at the salon. But yeah, technically it's finished at exactly 89,000 words. So even though I added a bunch of stuff, I also cut a bunch of stuff and it's ended up in the exact same place. But I do still have the patch edits and I kind of want to get them just done this weekend so that I'm finished, rather than just like kind of finished still mucking around with stuff. So I just counted, there are 28 comments for me to go through, just kind of again bouncing around, or things that I need to kind of look at and be like, do I think I've done that in this draft? Do I think I've addressed it as a thread throughout? And some of them aren't even things to address. It's literally like, this is where this section starts in case I need to go back and change it. I don't know if I can do all the notes tonight. That might be kind of crazy, but I'm gonna see what I can get done and then see if it can finally just be finished. Honestly, I think it came together well. I feel like it was a case of less is more. Like, I think I honestly cut more from the ending than I added. But I don't know, I still feel like the kind of climax of the novel is better than the ending necessarily, which is probably fine. I would be tempted to leave it and have that final reread, honestly, but I think we'll kind of see how the search for beta readers goes next week is kind of my thought, because sometimes it takes me a bit longer than a week to find people that I want to do manuscript swaps with, because that's what I prioritize. So it might be okay. We might just be able to take a few weeks rather than just one. But let's go through some of these notes. You know, if I do like 14 today, 14 tomorrow, again, I kind of just would like to do all of them today. I don't think there's anything so super major that needs to get changed. I think there's a couple little, not even scenes, it's more like just this one, 2 objects actually need to be given to the main character. Again, this is after the climax has happened. So I might change that first because it's kind of fresh in my mind, and then see what else is going on that I might need to change slightly. Maybe tomorrow I'll just fiddle around with some of the quotes and literary references because I'm pretty happy with most of them. But there's a couple where I'm a bit like, could probably change that to something else, you know? I'll think about it. What I'm learning, I mean, I know this, I've done this in every single draft, is it really does seem like so much more work than it actually ends up being a lot of the time. And also it always seems so much harder than it ends up being. So you kind of just have to start it and do it and see how far you get. And then usually what it means is it's actually so much easier than you build up in your head. So let's look at these notes. I am at my limit. Not only is it 55 billion degrees, but this book is technically done, but I just won't let it go. I won't let it go. I went through all the notes. I'm at 90,784 words, and yet, what am I doing? I'm poking it. Like, I am doing stuff. I'm basically going through the leftover references that I didn't use, and for a few of them I'm like, oh, like I think I can fit this in here, like I have ideas about where to put this, I feel like this would be like an interesting moment to have this, blah 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 blah. I am doing stuff that I think is interesting and basically jumping around and putting in the extra references I'm missing, but girl, I think the problem is with this one is kind of no end in sight. I think what I need to do is go through the remainder of this document and copy paste over the final references I definitely want to include into a separate thing, and then from that document delete them as I go so I can see how much I have left to fit in. Because right now I'm scrolling up and down this document that's mostly all crossed out at this point. It's mostly stuff that I've already put in that I'm just saving as a reference, and it just feels like I'm not getting anywhere. So realistically I should just stop. I still need to edit this video, like it's not but instead I'm driving myself crazy because I feel like it's not doing it for me right now. I'm at that point where I kind of hate the book. Where I'm like, this is shit. I know I spent all this time on it. It makes no sense. All the additions haven't done anything to save it. I'm gonna go lie face down in the bin. But I'm not gonna do that. Instead, I'm gonna try and tackle the last of these references. Please help me not die of heat stroke while I do that.
Caught by the camera light, I think we've been here before. Caught by the camera light, it's another way. It's another way.
The book is done, okay? It's done. I finished it. It's done. It's over. It's 99,879 words. I never want to write a book again. I never want to read this book again, except for when I have to read it in a month, and then in a month again, probably, and then in a month again, and then 50 more times if I get it published or if I get an agent. God help me. But I did. I put in all the references that I think I'm physically capable of doing at the moment. I don't know if it makes sense. I don't know if it's good. I don't even know if it's readable, but I'm over it. It's finally finished. I drank this whole thing of coffee. Girl, and now I have to read it. That's what I've kind of decided to do, is I do still need to reread it quickly without really editing it, just to make sure that I haven't left anything completely random in from the old version, or like something was shifted around and now it doesn't quite make sense because these patch edits of the last couple of days, which by the way, why did I do them over 2 days when I was like, oh, I can do them over the next week? What? I locked in for like 3 hours and then suddenly I had incorporated like 10, 12 pages of references. Now I'm going to be reading it. I'm going to be like, this book has literally more other people's words than mine. Why have I done this? I don't know, you guys. But I did it. And it's done, and it's 92,000 words, which honestly, I'm fine with that. I would have enjoyed it being exactly 90 words, and it's not even exactly 91 or 92. It's like just under 92, but it's fine. Anyway, I'm gonna go and try find the last 3 beta readers that are actually writing without AI and do a manuscript swap with them online, I guess. So that'll be next week's video, is kind of how to find a beta reader, my beta reading process, like what questions I do, all that kind of stuff. But honestly, I am so looking forward to not looking at this goddamn book. And now I have to go edit this video. Thank you so much if you came along on this journey with me. This was, I don't know why I did so much in 1 week, but like that, this always happens. I feel like once you get past the midpoint at any moment, you are in danger of getting into the snowball zone where the snow snowballs and you just ride it all the way down the hill and suddenly you've done half your book in like 10 days. So thank you. As always, please subscribe if you had fun. I hope you're having a lovely time of day. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you super soon. The book is done, asterisk, until beta readers tell me everything's wrong with it. Anyway, bye.